The default settings and patches of the SI Compact let you get up and mixing in just seconds. Let's have a look at how you'd set up a mix to the left and right bus. First of all, we'll connect our instruments to the inputs at the back. In that case, it's my phone. Select the channel that you want to work with. Perhaps solo it so you can hear it in your monitors and know what you're doing. Now you can adjust the EQ, the dynamics, whatever, to your heart's content. When you're happy with the channels, bring up the channel fader, bring up the left-right master, and hey presto, you're mixing to the main left and right bus straight away. To adjust the character and sound of the main left and right mix, press the select key of the left and right fader. That brings the ACS into focus on the left and right. Now you're adjusting the main left-right EQ, the dynamics and similar, and as it's a bus that is selected, we can open the graphic EQ for this left-right bus and adjust the low and high frequency bands as you need to get the sound that you want. Before we go any further, let's have a quick look at the graphic EQ capabilities of the SI Performer. There is a graphic EQ for every bus, or a stereo EQ for every stereo bus on the SI Performer. See, with the graphic EQ, when a fader is not at 0 dB, its on key is lit red to show you this, and you can flatten it by pressing the on key. The displays above the faders are telling you the frequency band that you're working with, and you also have the function focus on the main screen, shows you every fader movement. To reset the graphic EQ at any time, we can use the clear CLR button, hold that, press any of the GEQ keys, and the faders will flatten to 0 dB. As we've said before, one of the beauties of the SI Performer is how simple it is to use. And mixing to buses is no exception. Whatever type of mix you want to do on the console, mixing from monitors, effects, foldback, is done exactly the same way, following almost identical lines to the SI Compact. And it's all achieved with the totem, the one-touch easy mixing keys. And we'll have a look now at how each of those keys works for the different types of mixes on the console. Provided you're not in any fader setup mode or similar, mixing to a bus is simple. Just press the fader follow key for the bus you want to mix to, and the console is transformed to deal with the task at hand. Let's look at the details of what's been changed. Okay, so here we go, mixing to bus 9. The fader glow has illuminated yellow so that we know we're dealing with a pre-fade mix. The faders are now the levels from the channels to mix 9. Mix Master 9 has been put on the mono select fader, and it's selected, meaning that the assignable channel strip is doing the parametric EQ and the dynamics for mix 9. It's also soloed the bus, as we see from solo clear being lit, so you can hear directly what you're mixing. While the bus is selected, you can open up the graphic EQ as needed, and of course to make the mix, all you have to do is raise the faders and the channels are sent to the bus. When you're finished, either select another bus or turn off the mode and you're back where you started. If the mix is still not sounding right and you suspect an input channel is the problem, go through and solo the inputs one by one. When you solo an input now, you'll only hear that input and not the bus master. When you've found the problem channel, select it. Control for that channel is put on the ACS. Fix the problem. In this case, the gate shouldn't be in. Happy with that? Turn off the solo. Now you're hearing the bus again. Problem solved. Mixing to the matrix buses is similar. Just press the totem follow key for the matrix you want to mix to. In this case, we see that the console has gone blank. But that's right, because on layer A, there aren't any contributing channels or buses for the matrix. Those happen to be on layer C with this setup. Go to layer C and we have the buses mixing to the matrix and the matrix master here. A second press of the matrix key will bring the left, the right and the mono masters, their faders and contributions to the matrix. When you've finished mixing, push the key one more time and we're back to where we started. Following the principle of keeping things simple, SI Performer doesn't have audio subgroups as you would have found on an analog console. So after all, an audio subgroup was no more than a post-fade aux at unity gain. So if you want or need an audio subgroup facility on SI Performer, how do you do it? Let's see. Let's mix to one of the buses that's set post-fade. I'm going to use bus 12. The faders, as we know, are the contributions from the channels to the bus. We need the faders to be at unity gain for it to work as a subgroup. We could set these manually, or we can use the Alt key combined with the ONs to set them exactly to unity gain. Now, on and off is the routing, on and off from the channel to the bus, as your audio group would have been. And when you want that bus to go to left and right, push the left-right key. Now we have an audio subgroup with the levels of all the channels controlled by the subgroup master, and with routing from individual channel to that bus, on and off with the keys here. We've made an audio subgroup. Finally, let's look at mixing to the Lexical effects. SI Performer has dedicated buses for the effects processors and dedicated returns, so there's no need to set anything up before starting your effects mix. When you're ready to go, press the follow totem key for the effects processor. Fader glow tells us we're mixing to effects, and these are the contributions from our channels to the effects processor. There's a fader selected down here. That's not the effects master in this case. That's set at unity gain and you can't access it. This is the effects return that you're controlling and hearing through the solo system. When you're happy with the mix, bring up the effects return and hey presto, reverb has been added to your main mix. Whilst considering the Lexical effects processors, let's have a look and see how we control these on the colour LCD touchscreen. To access the effects at any time, press the Lexical effects key. If you're already mixing to a Lexical bus, the bus you're mixing to will be highlighted on the screen, but it can be changed with the scroll adjust encoder. Click to choose any one of the 29 different patches that are available. Individual parameters of the patch are adjusted with the encoders below the screen, and the touch-sensitive page tabs let you navigate through the different parameters. If the patch you've chosen has a delay time, the tap key will begin flashing, and you can use this to tap in the measure of the sound. And that's how simple the Lexical effects are to use.